Okay, so today we will be looking at my top 10 best movies of 2021. These are my favorite movies. These are the ones that I love. I've watched multiple times. I really enjoyed, and I'm going to buy them when they come out. And I just had a fantastic time, and I connected with these the best. Now, I want to know in the comments below your list. What are your best movies and favorite movies of the year? Smash it down below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe for me as well. And I do have an 11th one in here because I really was very hard between 9, 10, and 11. So I wanted to put in an 11th one just because I really like the movie as well. So let's get straight into this list. Number 11 is A Quiet Place 2. I really love this one, the sequel to the original. I really liked the first one so much. I think it was one of the best movies. Actually, it was probably the best movie of that year. When did it come out? I can't remember when it came out. It's been that long. I think it was 2018 or something like that. It was like the best movie of the year. It was really good. So naturally, I'm thinking John Krasinski's back, Emily Blunt's back. You got Cillian Murphy in this one. I'm super stoked, super excited for it. The trailers, I was ready to go. And then it got delayed and moved, and I was like, damn, now I've got to wait another year. And I finally got to see it this year. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I thought it captured what the first one was all about, but they made it different in the same way. John Krasinski added a bit more dialogue, added a bit more action sequences, and added a bit more tension to the film for me. I really enjoyed this film. Do I like it as much as the first one? Don't know. I have to watch them both again, back to back, to see. But I thoroughly enjoyed the character arcs they all went on. The decisions that these characters made complete sense in this situation and the way that they were. And I just really loved this, and I was so good. It was so good to see more of these monsters, and I loved the origin story as well. It's really good. For me, number 11 is A Quiet Place 2. Number 10, Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright. I loved this movie so much. He did a fantastic job. You had this stellar cast, absolutely fantastic cast, who delivered on every aspect. Matt Smith really was this intense, formidable guy that you really was like, dude, this guy's some trouble, but I ain't gonna step to him. Because he just has that demeanor about him. You had this great mystery, thriller story that you're trying to piece together things that happen. The twist in this movie worked perfectly because it got me. I had no idea that that's what they were going to do. And I really liked it. The visuals are absolutely stunning. The editing is unbelievable in this movie. I mean, unbelievable. The way that he shot it with the scenes at the clubs and stuff like that was brilliant. I loved the use of the horror elements. That was stunning, and it was scary, and it was freaky, and it gave me those horror vibes that I really like and really wanted to see. I just love Last Night in Soho so much. This was really good. So for me, number 10, Last Night in Soho. Number 9, Malignant, directed by James Wan. I love this movie as well. Oh my god, James Wan, guy is a god at horror. He is an absolute god at horror. This movie was everything and so much more. He had me in some suspense and thrill throughout the whole entire first and second act. I was guessing what was going on the whole entire time, trying to piece it together. And he still managed, when I thought I had it all worked out, to throw me a twist that I had no idea about. And it got me. And then he did another one that was so effective, I was just like gobsmacked. And then he revealed it. I was like, James, you got me again. This is really good. This has everything you want in a horror movie, from the thrill aspect, the anxiety aspect, you're on the edge of your seat, and then you have the action sequences as well, with the blood and gore that I really enjoyed. This was just so good. The whole opening in the house it's just freaking brilliant. I was shit scared. I was shit scared in the theater. This was an experience that I would love to have again. So I am envious of anyone who hasn't seen Malignant and sees it for the first time. I am so envious because the first time I saw it, it was just so freaking good. The music is so good. The score, the theme, oh my god, I loved it. Malignant for me comes in at number 9. Number 8, Ghostbusters Afterlife. I love the Ghostbusters. This movie was just everything I wanted in a Ghostbusters movie that paid tribute to the original. That's what this movie was. This was emotional. This was what I wanted Star Wars to do, that they couldn't do. But Ghostbusters delivered from the characters. The new characters you care about. They have character arcs. They have motivation. They make sense. They're not just Mary Sue's or Gary Stu's. They just don't know how to do things. Everything works. It makes complete sense. Yes, they do take stuff from the first movie and really implement it in the story. It's very similar in that aspect. Paul Rudd's a great addition. I just loved everything about it. I cried at the end. I thought the final act was incredible. This was the Ghostbusters I was waiting for. I love this movie so much, and when I went and saw it with Leo as well, he loved it so much. I just thought this is how you pay tribute to the older classic movies, while also creating a branch for new stuff with new characters. They did it right. They did it perfectly. I love Ghostbusters Afterlife, and it's number 8 for me. Number 7, The Night House. This is one of the best horror movies I have seen in a long time. I mean, horror has been actually really good this year. I have 3 of them in my top 10 here that I think are some of the best and some of my favorites that I've seen. I love The Night House. This was something completely different, and again, it had me guessing what was going on and how things were happening. After watching it a second time and knowing what happens, it just elevates it even more. The suspense I had throughout this whole entire movie the first time I saw it, I was on the edge of my seat. I get correct jump scares that worked really, really well. The use and editing of the sets was brilliant. The story is great and incredible, and it's got just a great performance by Rebecca as well as the main lead actress. She is incredible in this, and she does a fantastic job. The visuals are stunning. I really like the night sequences that they have in this movie. That they're really good. There's some great... I love this movie so much. I thought it was a near perfect horror movie for me. So, number 7, The Night House. Number 6, My Hero Academia, World Heroes Mission. I loved this movie. I love My Hero Academia, and I was super stoked for this movie. And I tell you what, this was the best movie out of the 3 that they have now. This was the best by far. I loved it. And what made this movie so good for me is because it really focuses on our big 3. On, what's his name? Shoto, Bakugo, and Deku. They all get their spot in the light. Yeah? What am I talking about? That made no sense. They all get their chance in the spotlight. They are all got their own character motives throughout the film. They have their own character arcs that come full circle. The new character they brought in, Rhodey, really liked him. I thought he was going to be a character I didn't like, and that could take the movie down. He was great as well. I really liked how they wrote Endeavor and all the other main heroes out of this, because you need to focus on the other 3 because they're the future, so you can't really have the older guys overshadow him. The story is great as well. The villain is good. I love the motive. I love how they brought back the Doomsday Quirk theory, and they brought that in. That was really clever, and I really enjoyed that. There's just some great moments. The music, everything about this was just really, really good, really fun, really entertaining. The animation was on point. I just love this movie so much. And for me, number 6, My Hero Academia, World Heroes Mission. Number 5, SpiderMan No Way Home. I love this movie so much. My favorite Spider-Man movie, my favorite MCU movie. It is definitely in my top 10 favorite comic book movies of all time, maybe even in the top 5. This was just perfect. It was emotional. It had a great character arc for Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Oh my god, that character arc was everything I was waiting for his Spider-Man to go through. His Spider-Man hasn't really gone through any troubles, But in this movie, he is tested to the max, which I really, really liked as well. The supporting cast were really good as well. The visuals are great. The music's on point. The villains are great. Green Goblin, never thought I would say this, William Dafoe tops his Green Goblin performance in the first Raimi Spider-Man. This one is even better, and he's one of my favorite MCU villains now. Doc Ock is incredible in this as well. Electro was even really good, and they really fixed his character as well. I just love this movie. I'm not going to go into spoilers because it's still out in theaters, but I really enjoyed this. And for me, number 5, Spider-Man No Way Home. Number 4, King Richard, the story of Venus and Serena Williams and their father, Richard. I really like this. Will Smith, hats off, buddy. Hats off. Will Smith is going to get an Oscar nomination for this. He was incredible in this movie. This movie is so good to me because this is one of those movies that I feel like most sports people need to watch and their parents need to watch to understand what they actually went through and how he was able to get Venus and Serena to where they were and give them those opportunities was incredible to watch. The struggles they went through, him having a plan and executing the plan accordingly, the way he dealt with keeping the girls out of the spotlight and putting them in the spotlight when it was necessary, when they were ready, so they didn't destroy their mental health and didn't destroy them as a person and turn them down to drugs or anything like that, like some of the tennis stars did. It was incredible. It was really, really good. Visually looks great. It's an Oscar contender. It is an Oscar contender. I love this movie. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on King Richard as well, because I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say about King Richard. I loved it. I thought the performances were incredible as well, especially the girls. They were really, really good. Loved it. So for me, King Richard comes in at number 4. Number 3, The Last Duel, directed by Ridley Scott. This movie is a star-studded cast. You've got Ben Affleck, you've got Matt Damon, you've got Jodie Comer, and you've also got Adam Driver in this movie. And you've got Ridley Scott directing. I love Ridley Scott. I really like his movies a lot. Some of his movies are some of my favorites, from Gladiator, The Martian. He's got an incredible filmography. It's incredible. So naturally, I was excited for this movie, and I loved this movie. The visuals, I have to talk about the visuals. It's visually stunning. It's absolutely incredible. I thought he captured that time, the medieval times, fucking beautifully done. Like, he got that spot on. I believe that I was in that time. I thought that was incredible. The costume designs, everything about that, nailed. The story itself was very powerful and very good. I loved how he told it from the 3 different points of view as well. I thought that was effective, especially for me, because I started to see the picture, and when it got to her telling the story, and then you put it all together, that increased my interest in that final battle. The final duel. I was so invested in it, and once you figure out what actually happened and everything like that, you change a lot throughout this movie on particular characters and everything like that. And that final battle, I have never wanted to see someone die as badly ever. Like, that was how invested I was in that battle, and when things were happening, I was on the edge of my seat. This is just brilliantly done. Absolutely brilliant, with some freaking world-class performances that are going to get Oscar nominations. Adam Driver was spectacular. Matt Damon was spectacular. Ben Affleck spectacular. Jodie is spectacular. She should get an Oscar nomination for this. She was absolutely incredible on scene. When she was on screen, she stole it. She was that good. I loved Adam Driver, as you guys all know. I love him. This was one of his best performances as well. And Matt Damon's just Matt Damon. He's just incredible as well. And I really liked what they did with Ben Affleck and that character as well. But overall, I loved The Last Duel. It's just really, really good. I really liked it. So for me, number 3, The Last Duel. Number 2, Dune. I really, really liked Dune. Denis Villeneuve just nailed this out of the park. Nailed it. This has not action heavy packed, but when it did have the action sequences, they were fucking incredible. This is just a stunning film. You have to see this on the big screen if you can. It is incredible. It looks so beautiful. And Hans Zimmer, one of the GOATs, just composes this incredible score that encaptures you in the image and in the story itself. I loved the stories and all the characters. Paul was incredible. I loved his character. I was completely invested in his character the whole entire time. I loved the world building that they did, having those factions, discovering all of that stuff. This is one of the most this is one of the best sci-fi movies I've ever seen. I love this so much. I'm just stunned that we actually have a movie like Dune that is this good. That worm looks incredible. Just everything about it. And now it makes me excited for part 2. And I'm so glad we got a part 2. But guys, you need to see Dune. It is incredible. If you're a sci-fi fan, this is right up your alleys. The best way I can describe Dune is Game of Thrones in space. That's what it is. It's so good. The performances are great. Oh, the cast is stellar. But the performances is what does it for me. Oscar Isaac is incredible. Jason Momoa, I love that character. I loved his relationship with Paul as well. Just Rebecca Ferguson is fantastic. There's not much else. I can just praise this movie all the time. So for me, number 2 is Dune. Number 1, Demon Slayer, Mugen Train. This is my favorite movie of the year. I loved this movie. I did not know what Demon Slayer was until I saw the trailer for this movie. And I was like, cool, this looks like something up my alley, you know. So then I watched all of Demon Slayer. Then I watched this movie. And I tell you what, they gave me a character in the name of Kyojo Rengoku, who became my favorite character in Demon Slayer and my third favorite character of all time in anime. In one fucking movie. This movie is incredibly beautiful and has an incredible story and has an incredible character arc for Tanjiro and for Rengoku himself. How they were able to capture me to like a character so much in one movie that when you get to the final battle, I was in tears at the end of it. I was bawling my eyes out. I have never been that emotional in a movie. This year's probably had the most emotion in a movie between Spider-Man and between this movie. The final battle in this movie is the best final battle I've ever seen in a movie. It is that good. I loved this movie so much from everything. I can rave about Demon Slayer Mugen Train all night. But to me, it is the best movie of the year, and it is my favorite movie of the year. It's just incredible. Like, the story, the music, just the visuals, just how they did it was just so good. So for me, number 1, Demon Slayer Mugen Train. So there you have it. That is my list. That is my top 10 best movies of the year. Let me know in the comments below your best movies. What do you think on my list? Let me know yours. Let's get a discussion going. Smash that like button, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe, and peace out.